Hello dear students, I am Prabodh. Today we are going to start Standard 10 Physics, chapter number 12, and the name of the chapter is Electricity. So let us begin. So you must have heard this word electricity before. So when you hear this word electricity, there are certain questions that must have been coming into your mind. So these are some of the questions, most probable questions. The first one is what constitutes electricity? That this electricity, whatever it is made up of which kind of thing? What are the things that combined with each other to form this electricity? Second question, how does it flow in an electric circuit? What is electric circuit? We will see in the coming videos or the coming slides. So, in an electric circuit, in a conductor, suppose this is a conductor. Conductor is something in which or through which electricity can flow. So, how does it flow? What are the factors that control or regulate the current through an electric circuit? In an electric circuit or inside a conductor, how electricity can flow, or what are the factors which control the flowing of this electricity. So these are some of the questions that we are going to discuss in this chapter. We are going to learn. We also discuss the heating effect of electric current. We know that, suppose if I give you an example of iron, in iron when electricity passes, it produces heat. In geyser in the bathroom, when electricity passes, it makes the water hot. So how these things happen? So we also discuss the heating effect of electric current and its application. What are the applications of electricity? Okay, so let us begin this chapter. Before starting this chapter, there is certain thing that you should keep in your mind, that potential difference. So what is it? Now see, you can see here there are two tanks, tank number 1 and tank number 2. Tank number 1 is approximately completely filled with water. Here you can see here the blue one is water. Tank number 2, it is partially filled with water. Okay. Now through this pipe, if you are going to connect tank number 1 and tank number 2, then what is going to happen? As you know that tank number 1 is having much more water compared to tank number 2, then water from tank number 1 will start flowing to tank number 2. Why does it happen? That is the question. See, here the water has a property that it always try to make a particular level, make balance itself. Okay, you cannot keep water like this. This is one surface of water, this is another surface of water. This is not possible. This is against the property of liquid. So here what happens, this is the level of water in tank 1, this is the level of water in tank 2. Okay, that is the surface of water. These two surfaces will try to balance each other. Okay, that is why here water will go down, the level of water will decrease. Here the level of water will increase until the level becomes equal. Okay. So here this water tank is having higher potential, okay, higher volume. This tank of water is having lower potential, that means lower volume. Until or unless the amount of water that these two water tanks contain or the level of water that these contain become equal, the water will start from tank 1 to tank 2. Keeping this one in mind, we can say that in a conductor, suppose between two regions, one region is having more electric potential, that means electrical energy, compared to another region, then electrical energy or electric potential from higher region will flow to lower region to make it balance. Like this example, so this region is having higher potential, this region is having lower potential. So electric energy will start flowing in this direction to make it balance. Okay. So we are going to study this one in detail. Now this potential difference is known as electric potential. Okay, or potential difference in electricity. So let us begin. So the first topic in this chapter we are going to read is electric current and circuit. So what is the meaning of the word current? Current means to flow. If anything that flows from one region to another region, that is called current, like water current. Now electric current means flow of electricity. Whenever this electricity flows from one point to another point, it is known as electric current. Now the third one is circuit. What is a circuit? Circuit is a continuous and closed path. See, it should be continuous. It should not be discontinuous. It should be closed path. Closed path. That means there is a certain connection between the starting point and the end point. It should not be open path of an electric current is called electric circuit. For example, this is a circle. You see the circle is continuous one. You cannot find a particular point where it is breaking down, okay, where it is broken. That is continuous path, and it is closed one. Suppose this is the starting point here. From here, if you go, it will come, it will finally come back to the same point. That is called closed path. So this is called electric circuit. Okay, it should be continuous and closed one. So how we are going to express this electric current that flows in a conductor? Okay. So electric current is expressed by the amount of charge flowing through a particular area in unit time. So let me make you understand with the help of this simple example. Suppose this is a pipe. In this pipe, water flows. Okay. So suppose this is a bucket. To collect water in this bucket, you need certain time. Okay. Suppose you need 5 minutes time to collect water in this bucket. Okay. Similarly, if you want to collect certain amount of electricity, you need certain time to get that amount of electricity. So in a conductor, whenever this electricity flows, so what this electricity is flowing, you know that the atoms are consisting of three different particles: proton, neutron and electron. Proton is positively charged particle, neutron it doesn't have any charge, electron is negatively charged particle. So these electrons flow from one point to another point in a conductor. Okay. So there are infinite number of electrons or n number of electrons that flows. Suppose we consider that the amount of energy associated with one electron is E. E is the amount of energy associated with one electron. The total number of electrons that is flowing in this conductor is N. Okay, one electron, its energy is E. Total number of electrons is N. So the total amount of energy is N. The total amount of energy is N into E. One electron, amount of energy is E. N number of electron and amount of energy is N into E. Now, to flow this amount of energy in this conductor, suppose T time is required. Within T time, this amount of energy is flowing. So within 1 second, how much amount of energy is flowing? So N into E energy is flowing in T seconds. In 1 second, the amount of energy is flowing is N into E divided by T. This is known as current, I. Now this N into E is denoted by charge, that is Q. Here Q equal to N into E, that is number of electrons into charge of one electron divided by time. Okay. So electric current is expressed by the amount of charge flowing. Here amount of charge flowing is N into E through a particular area. So this conductor through which the amount of energy is flowing is having a particular area. Here area means this cross-sectional area. In unit time, in 1 second. Okay. In circuits using metallic wire, electrons constitute the flow of charge. So metallic wires are the conducting wire through which electron can flow. So through this metallic wire, electrons can flow and it constitutes the flow of charges. Now, if a net charge Q is the net charge, that means total amount of charge, flow across any cross section of a conductor in time t. So what is cross section? These small terms are very important. These are going to help you while solving questions. So let me make you understand. Suppose this is a pipe. If you see this pipe from here in this direction, suppose you are standing here and you are seeing this pipe. So how does this region looks like? It looks like a circle. Okay, so this region is known as cross section, and the area of this cross section is known as cross sectional area. Okay, so if a net charge q flow across any cross section of a conductor in time t, here cross section, it may be circular, it may be elliptical, it may be having any shape, it doesn't matter. Then the current I through the cross section area is I equal to q by t. That means if n number of electrons is flowing in a conductor which is taking t time, then the total amount of current that is flowing through the conductor, that is I equal to the total amount of charge that is flowing, which is n into E, that also be represented by q divided by t. Okay, so this is the relation. You should keep this relation in mind. Now here, this note you should remember, the SI unit of electric charge is coulomb, which is represented by the capital letter C. Now, this is equivalent to the charge contained nearly 6 into 10 to the power 18 electrons. So 1 coulomb is equal to 6 into 10 to the power 18 electrons. Okay. Suppose the charge of 1 electron is E, then 1 coulomb is equal to 6 into 10 to the power 18 number of electrons. That is E into 6 into 10 to the power 18. An electron possesses a negative charge. Okay, it is a negatively charged particle, and its value is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. 1 electron, its charge is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. 1 coulomb consists of 6 into 10 to the power 18 number of electrons. Okay, the electric current is expressed by a unit called ampere. Okay, these are the unit. SI unit of electric charge is coulomb. SI unit of electric current is ampere. So what is ampere? 1 ampere is constituted by the flow of 1 coulomb charge per second. That means if 1 coulomb charge will flow for 1 second, then it is known as 1 ampere. That is 1 ampere equal to 1 coulomb divided by 1 second. Small quantities of current are expressed in milliampere. If you are taking very small quantity, it is expressed in milliampere. 1 milliampere equal to 10 to the power minus 3 ampere. Or it can also be expressed in microampere. 1 microampere, this is the symbol of micro. 1 microampere equal to 10 to the power minus 6 ampere. Okay, so you should remember these values, that milliampere and microampere. These values will help you while solving the problems. So this is all about today's class. In the next class, in the next video, we are going to read about ammeter. Okay, so thank you and have a nice day.